Hello, welcome to MichMusic Now. I'm Michele Weir. Today we're talking about terms and concepts having to do with being a working jazz musician, and that includes singers, of course. So, there's a set of vocabulary and concepts that all jazz players and all professional jazz singers should know. And probably you do know most of them, but there might be a couple of things that you'll learn from our discussion today. This is all pretty basic, entry-level, simple stuff. But if you don't know one or two or three of them, I think it's definitely worth your while to take a listen. The reason is the way you converse, the way you present yourself, the words that you use, the terms that you use, say a lot about your experience level and your sophistication as a jazz musician. So, players and singers are working together all the time, and we want to be on the same playing field, and we want you both to be using the same kind of language. In future MichMusic Now sessions, we're going to also talk about terminology having to do with other specific aspects of jazz, like rhythm section or chord progressions or whatever. Today is, get started day with basic jazz terms. So here we go. Number one is song form. Simple, certainly it doesn't need that much explanation at face value. But I would say in the jazz culture, especially this kind of straight ahead jazz standards jazz culture, there are certainly song forms that are used super commonly. One of them is AABA, the other is ABAB, often showing up also as ABAC. AABA songs include, for example, My Funny Valentine. ABAB songs include All of Me. And it's pretty simple. It's what it sounds like. There's an A section, and then something different happens in the chord progression, and certainly the lyrics also. Then there's a B section, then maybe there's another A, repeating back. Could be different lyrics, but it'll have the same melody generally and the same chords. And then there might be a B or a C section, and that would be All of Me. Along with these songs forms are certain words like bridge and first half, second half that go along with the song form. So if you're singing My Funny Valentine, you could, for example, say, why don't you play a solo on the first two A sections, and I'll come back in at the bridge. So the bridge, by definition, is the B section of an AABA song form. Does All of Me have a bridge? No, because it's ABAC, and that song form doesn't have a bridge. There are certain other terms that are really commonly used that I'm sure you know. Bar means measure, for example. The word head in jazz generally means the melody. Sometimes it also means to go back to the beginning of the melody or the beginning of the form. But generally speaking, if a player or a singer says, let's go back to the head now, they're talking about let's go back to the melody now. Count off, of course, you know what that is, and there is a MichMusic Now session on that called Countless Count-Offs that you might want to check out. There are all kinds of rhythmic occurrences that happen that you want to be very, very familiar with and know how to express them verbally. One of them is in swing feel, and it's called a two-feel versus a four-feel. In a two-feel, the bass player plays primarily on beats 1 and 3. A four-feel, of course, is where the bass player plays a walking bass line, quarter notes on each beat, pretty much. And the drummer is playing a full ride pattern, ding, 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 ding. This is the hi-hat on 2 and 4. And by the way, the drummer in a two-feel plays an abbreviated ride pattern, generally, ding, da-ding, da-ding, da-ding. Okay? Let's talk about the word chorus. The term chorus can be confusing because it's used differently in jazz than it is in rock and pop music. In rock and pop music, the term chorus generally means the hook or the refrain, right? And in jazz, the term chorus means one time through the song form. So if you sing My Funny Valentine all the way through, you have sung one chorus. If the piano player plays a solo all the way through, the piano player has played one chorus. If the saxophone player plays the first two A sections only, he or she has played half a chorus. All right? The other term that can be sort of confusing is the term verse. In rock and pop music, the term verse means, the first set of lyrics, the second set of lyrics, the third set of lyrics, and so on. In jazz, a verse is an introductory passage to a song performed only once, 99.999% of the time. Verses generally come from Broadway show tunes, and they're analogous to the recitative in an aria. It's an introductory passage setting up the storyline of the song. And I think that's enough for this session. Those are some very, very, very commonly used terms, and I hope it was helpful for you to learn a little bit more about them. And by the way, you may have noticed that I am on a mountain top right now. We are backpacking, actually, and we're in day 10. Yeah, I think day 10 of a backpack trip outside of Southern California in the mountains. And I hope you can see a little bit of the view. I know it's getting dark outside, but this is, we're in the San Jacinto Mountains, and that is Lake Hemet down below me. And anyway, we're having a good time here, but I haven't forgotten about you, and I want to always share with you these MichMusic Now sessions. Listen, I always would love to hear from you. Come talk to us at MichMusic Network, the Facebook group, or write to me on YouTube, write a note, or write me at my website, michmusic.com, and tell me what you want. What do you want to know? I would love to help in some way, if I can, and provide information for you or activities that might be useful for you. Okay? Take care. Bye. See you next time.